Thanks for checking out Whiskey Throttle Media, guys. We got a brand new project today. This is our 2025 Yamaha YZ250. One of my favorite motorcycles I think ever made. I mean, just the history of this bike going back to Gary Jones and Bob Hanna and Chad Reed and Jeremy McGrath. A lot of winning has been done on this motorcycle and its variations over the years. And so in 2025, while it doesn't have a ton of changes recently, they have 2 decades really refining this thing and tweaking it, making it just the jetting spot on, the carburation, just everything about it is really, really dialed in. And so as such, there isn't a lot that needs to be done to this motorcycle to take it from completely stock to what you'd go racing with. And so that was really our goal with this build, is what's the bare minimum that you have to have done to go and ride this thing at a very, very high level. So what we did, we always start with chassis, right? What's going to make this thing comfortable? The Kayaba suspension is actually pretty stinking good. And unless you are high level, intermediate, expert speed, the stock stuff is probably fine for you. So do your best, start with about 100 millimeters of sag, have somebody help you kind of tweak the clickers for you. But we've actually done a race spec on this bike as well, so you can search our archives and find a good stock setting and starting point. But if you want to go to that next level, suspension is probably going to be necessary. Obviously, if you're too heavy to get the sag right or too light, get the right springs. That'll make a world of difference. We went to our friends at Race Tech, and they always do a great job of just nailing what I'm looking for. You know, I'm a vet guy, so I'm not high-level expert, but I want to be able to push on it, but I want it to be plush on those little bumps because my old wrist can't take it. And they nailed it. I mean, I did one clicker adjustment on the fork because it was really deep today to kind of hold it up a little more, and that was it. Left it. Set it at 100 mils of sag, and I was really happy with the way it worked. So big thank you to the Race Tech guys. They do a great job. Nothing else on the chassis. This thing is so good just the way it is. I put some ODI bars and grips on, the lock-ons. I like the Nihilo grip donuts because I don't ride that much and I don't get blisters that way, so that's nice. And then we went to a full arc lever setup. Front brake, which is just a replacement lever, kind of mimics the feel of the stock one. And then their entire clutch perch. And if you've never seen arc componentry, it is just absolutely, it looks like something you'd see on a factory bike, because it is. A lot of the factory teams use this and they just bolt this stuff right on. That's what I did. Very easy to put together and super easy to find the clutch adjuster. If you're jumping or going through a turn, reach down, easy to find. Just very, very well built. So really cool stuff there. And that's more comfort than anything. We did Dunlop tires, MX34s, which is my favorite tire outside of the factory tire. And I did Nihilo Concepts frame tape. And I squeeze tight with my feet and knees, and so I want to have the best grip I can with my lower body. And so that's just an easy thing to throw on, very cheap. Check out Nihilo Concepts for that. Pro X sprocket, and we did a few parts, you know, just to make it look nice. Light speed carbon fiber chain guide and clutch cover, which you see over here. And then we did a Pro Circuit silencer. This is the only performance modification we made. The pipe, you're looking at that going, well, that's not stock. Actually, it is. I really like the way this stock pipe works. It rolls on, it's got great throttle response and roll on. Almost feels 4-stroke-ish. I mean, you can just, or fuel injection-like. They just did a really good job building this thing. And so the Pro Circuit pipe makes more power. If you want more middle and top, that Pro Circuit setup's gonna be better for you. I went ahead and just pulled the paint off of this, polished it, blued the welds, and it looks like a works pipe, but it's bone stock. Just with the Pro Circuit carbon silencer. And this thing sounds like freaking Chad Reed's race bike back in the early 2000s. It sounds so nasty. We must have had 3 people come up to us today and go, dude, that bike sounds incredible. What'd you do to that thing? I'm like, nothing. Oh, ETS fuel. I guess that's the other thing we put in it. ETS fuel and a silencer. Performance-wise, that's it. So really, really very simple that way. And I want to talk one more thing that I did to this, I guess, that falls under performance, is sprocket. Comes with a 52 sprocket, and I dropped down to a 49-tooth Pro X sprocket. And the reason being, like I said, the roll-on of this thing and the pickup is so quick and so responsive. I thought, man, if I can get this thing, if it'll still pull out of the turns, it's going to carry further, the RPMs are going to be a touch lower, and I'll be able to not shift as much. The chassis will free up and work a little bit better, and it worked. I was worried today because it is so deep and long ruts, and I thought, man, it's going to pull it down. I'm going to be all over the clutch. Not the case. And if it got harder, like say Glen Helen or something, hard, slicker, it'd be even better. So I was really happy with that change. And if you've got one of these, I'd really recommend trying a 49.2 sprocket. I think you'll like it. And then a couple last things here just for looks and comfort. Seat Concept seat. They make an entire seat and you can customize the foam however you like it. We have the stock seat. I just put on one of their covers with some grippers. And for me, perfect. Just keeps me from sliding around, which is what I'm after. And then our boys over at TBDMX, you know, I'm always looking for cool designs, kind of something to incorporate our logos and whatever. And he absolutely nailed it. So if you guys are looking for graphics, these guys do a great job. They'll put anything you want on here. You can say, hey, I really like this whiskey throttle design. Can you make something out of that? I mean, he'll do whatever you want. So check those guys out, TBDMX. They do an awesome job. And just other than that, it's a stock machine. On the track, I didn't expect this thing to be anything but a good time, and it didn't disappoint. So fun to me, just riding a two-stroke. It keeps you on your toes. You got to shift more. You have to really work to keep the bike in that little meat of the power band. And this sort of addresses all the things on a stock bike that I would want to be a little bit better sound, a little bit better handling. And the Race Tech guys nailed it. This Pro Circuit silencer, there's nothing better on a two-stroke. Mitch has got a lot of years making sure his bikes sound nasty, and this thing is no different. It's so fun. Just the sound, the way it handles, the lightness. I had so much fun. Big smile on my face the whole time. And the little changes for me just made a big difference for comfort. Even the arc levers, the grips, the ODI grips are nice. The Seat Concept seat cover held me in place. Maybe the only thing, if I was going to go one more level, is to either file these foot pegs sharper or put on some aftermarket pegs, give me a little more grip there. I like a real bitey foot peg. Other than that, man, I had a blast. So much fun riding these things, and we just did a video sort of making the argument that these should be allowed in the 250F class, just straight 250 class. And having ridden this the way it is, like, I'm behind that idea more than ever. So go check that video out if you haven't. Big thank you to Yamaha, and I want to remind you guys, everything that we've put on this motorcycle, bars, grips, tires, graphics, seat, you name it, Pro Circuit stuff, you can buy at motorsport.com. And those guys are a big supporter of what we do. And man, we joined forces with them for a good reason. When you can order everything you need to go ride in a race and never leave your couch, that's pretty sweet. These guys have everything. They got great deals and doing a bunch of giveaways. So check them out, motorsport.com. They've got all kinds of stuff going on and great deals. Man, don't even get out of your chonies. Let the Dorito dust collect on your shirt and just order it from home. It's going to show up in a couple days. You're going to be dialed. So go to motorsport.com and check those guys out. Big thank you to Yamaha and all the companies that help with this. We got lots of builds coming, lots of good times. Stick around.